The day she asked him to pretend to be her husband, the world did not stop, the office lights did not flicker, and the paperwork on the desk did not burst into flames. But something inside a tired single father cracked open, because the request was not about romance or convenience. It was about survival, reputation, and a lonely child who had already learned how easily promises disappear. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and quiet miracles that happen between ordinary people, take a moment right now to like this video. Share it with someone who needs hope, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel Grandma Diery, because stories like this are built for hearts that still believe. He had learned to keep his head down. Years after his wife passed, life became a careful routine of packed lunches, school drop-offs, late nights, and early mornings. He wore exhaustion like a second shirt, neatly pressed and never mentioned. Work was the one place where effort felt measurable and safe, and his boss was known for her precision, her calm authority, and the rumors that followed her everywhere. Investors preferred married leaders. Boards trusted stability. Appearances mattered more than truth. When the scandal whispers grew louder and the promotion she had worked her whole life for dangled on a fragile thread, she chose the most logical solution available to her. A fake marriage, a controlled story, 1 year of appearances. He was reliable, discreet, and already trusted. She did not ask lightly, and he did not hear it lightly either. What made him hesitate was not the risk to his job, but the weight of bringing a lie into the life of a child who still slept with the hallway light on. The arrangement required living together, shared events, shared mornings, shared silence. 1 year. 365 days of pretending to be something he had once been for real and lost. He agreed not because he wanted to, but because he understood what it felt like to be cornered by circumstances that did not care about your morals. The move into her immaculate apartment felt like stepping into someone else's life, one where grief had been packed away neatly, and emotions were allowed only when efficient. At first, everything was mechanical. Timetables, rules, boundaries, and schedules ruled their days. They attended events side by side, smiling at the right moments, careful with gestures, always aware of eyes watching. At night, the apartment held two separate worlds divided by silence and walls. He lay awake thinking about his daughter, wondering how much pretending a child could sense even when adults believed they were careful. She lay awake too, staring at the ceiling, haunted by the fear that one mistake could cost her everything she had built. Slowly, without permission, cracks appeared in the plan. His daughter began leaving drawings on the kitchen counter. The woman who had mastered boardrooms found herself packing lunches and learning the names of cartoon characters she had never heard of. He noticed how she softened around the child, how her voice changed without effort. She noticed how he never complained, how he absorbed pressure like it was oxygen, how love had reshaped him into something resilient and quiet. The apartment started to feel warmer. Mornings included shared coffee. Evenings included unplanned conversations that drifted into stories of the past. Grief found space to breathe. She learned that his strength came from loss, not confidence. He learned that her ambition came from fear, not arrogance. The lie they lived inside became strangely honest, because no one was pretending when no one was watching. The outside world believed the performance. Investors relaxed. The board approved. The pressure eased. But inside the apartment, something far more dangerous grew. Care. The kind that slips in unnoticed and refuses to leave. The kind that shows up in small gestures, in checking doors twice, in staying up late to help with homework, in listening without fixing. Halfway through the year, fear returned, sharper than before. What would happen when the contract ended? What would happen to the child who now believed families could be rebuilt? What would happen to two people who had learned how safe it felt to not be alone? Neither spoke it out loud because numbing something makes it real, and reality was scheduled to expire. The breaking point came quietly. A night when exhaustion won, when walls thinned, when the distance between two people who had been circling each other for months finally vanished. Not in passion, but in vulnerability. in the shared understanding that love does not always announce itself with fireworks. Sometimes it arrives disguised as responsibility, patience, and shared silence. As the year drew to a close, the lie lost its usefulness. The board no longer needed convincing. The world moved on, but the apartment felt heavier, filled with unasked questions and unfinished truths. The child sensed it first. Children always do. She asked why people leave when things feel good. No one had an answer ready. On the final day of the agreement, nothing dramatic happened. No speeches, no ultimatums, just a quiet morning, sunlight on the floor, and the realization that walking away would not restore their old lives because those lives no longer existed. They had been replaced by something new, something fragile, something real. He understood then that love was not about pretending to be a husband. It was about choosing to stay when pretending was